Good morning, everyone. Don't be scared of this handout. It's just to help you guide along with the workshop slide that I made for you all, just to help y'all follow a little bit better. There are some blanks, just keep you on your toes so that you just don't listen in and don't write anything down. But good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing?
Great.
Slept really well, and I know it is 10:30 in the morning, so we're going to try to get our energies up. So first off, I just want to ask any random person, what do they think this workshop is? Based on the title, the description given in the booklet, it's a little bit different from what I had in mind. Anyone? I'll call someone randomly. You, sir. Mr. John. John Denton. What's the reason why you're here today?
Just continue to build my leadership skills and to get a perspective on what leadership is.
Okay. All right. And gentleman in the purple over there, what's your reason for being here today? What's your purpose?
Definitely getting different perspectives from everybody else, different places, see how other clubs or organizations view leadership and how they can improve.
Okay. And this is a quote, set sail on your leadership. Made that up one night. And as I was discussing with a couple of friends about ways that we could just express what leadership is. Whoa. All right, so welcome to Set Sail on Your Leadership. And I'm going to use analogies of being on a ship. Your personal leadership. We are going to build the leadership that you have within yourselves, and we're going to truly find out what it's going to take to become an effective leader. So, a leader could be a head organizer of an event, a head organizer of a community. The main objective that we're going to have today is coming up with your solid structural foundation for your organization, like figuring out like what can we establish before we get step in the role of a leader? What can we do to come up with our own meaning of leadership? So first off, for like the definition of leadership, I have post-it notes all on the table. I hope that I have enough. I didn't expect to go back 2 more rows, so if anyone has like extra post-it notes, please pass it backwards. And I have some pens up here too, so if anyone needs a pen, we can start passing it out. And if anyone else have any extra pens, I'm sure these lovely people would be able to borrow it from y'all. Everyone got a pen already? Okay, so on these post-it notes, I want you to write down what you think, in your own words, no fancy big words, in your own words, what you think leadership is. And when you're done, come post it on this front left wall for me, please. Anyone needs a pen? Any more post-it notes? Does anyone else have any extra post-it notes? I got 2 up here. I have 2, 3, 4. Any more? Here I go. Pass it. And we'll adapt to this. Rip one in half, and you can write it. Okay. All right, you need post-it notes too? Write in your own words, your own personal definition of leadership. Like, what do you think leadership is? I'm going to give you about 1 or 2 minutes for that. About 1 minute should be sufficient. And yeah, come in and post it on the wall. Come on, like we're gonna get the blood flowing. It's 10:30 in the morning. I know some of us slept early last night. Those didn't sleep a little bit later. Let's get our blood flowing. And for anyone who doesn't have post-it notes, talk to your fellow neighbor and maybe they could rip half a post-it note for you and you could write smaller maybe. Let's help out your neighbors, guys. Let's help out your fellow friends, fellow attendees. Be careful with the water. Alright, we're done. Alright, so let me just read one. Before I begin, I'm giving my opinion about leadership. I'm not changing how your identity as leadership is. I just want to enhance it more. So we're gonna read, there's gonna be a lot of different ones up here. One is finding your own conviction and passion and following through with it, sharing your vision with others. Leadership is taking initiative. Very simple, very good. And leadership is being able to step up. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what does it mean when you're going to step up, okay? So before you leave this room, I will provide you with enough resources to become not only leaders, but become better leaders and enhance the qualities that you have right now. We're going to just shine all those great qualities they have out into the light and let the whole world see it. So for a quick agenda, I'm going to go through this real quick. We're going to find out leadership traits, what kind of traits it takes to be a leader, based on our own definitions. Taking charge of the ship, the things that you have to establish before running an organization. Not running an organization, but things that you would like to establish in order to successfully fulfill your goals. And we're going to also look at misconceptions. Leadership is a broad subject, and there are a lot of misconceptions that come along with it, and we're going to exploit those. We're going to demonstrate actions as a leader, and for the ending, we are going to end it with a dance. Okay? So how many dances do we have in here? Raise your hand. Don't be shy. I dance when there's not a strobe light. I like to dance in public. No, I try to avoid the strobe lights. Alright, so we're going to have like quick agreements. I'm not going to read them all to you. They're pretty self-explanatory, but the two that I will point out is, quote, be responsible for your own learning. What does being responsible for your own learning mean? Kevin.
Pay attention and apply it to yourself.
Okay, it's not wrong. Be responsible for your own learning. I'm here to offer my input on leadership, and I don't want to impose any of my teachings on you. I'm not here to impose and force you to learn, to take in all this information or to take in any information. I'm not expecting you to agree completely with me, but I do hope that you ask the questions. You keep asking questions and you challenge me to answer the questions that you need to find out. I want to know what you need to do. So feel free to raise your hand like anytime during the speech, during the presentation, and I'll be glad to answer it so that you can get better clarity on what you have to find out. And the last one I want y'all to do is have fun. I know it's 10 o'clock in the morning, we are just drained, but we are gonna really pump ourselves up for today, okay? So have fun with this workshop, guys. Like, and follow along. If you feel lost or anything, feel free to raise your hand and I'll be sure to elaborate a little bit more. So by having fun, we are going to take a trip, a journey across the open seas on a ship. What kind of ship is it? What? What kind of ship is it? Leadership. All right. So who knows the term what all hands on deck means?
Everybody get ready and some, great, everything on deck.
Okay. And what's your name?
Liz.
Liz. Everybody, let's give a round of applause for Liz. That's actually the right. All hands on deck refers to a Navy term where everyone, the crewmen, they're doing their own thing. But whenever the captain of the ship comes on deck, they say, all hands on deck, and then everybody just drops what they're doing, goes onto the deck, and then like listens to the captain's order. So we're gonna create our own hands on deck real quick, okay? I need a volunteer. I need the strongest female in this room. Point to somebody, guys. Like elect who you think is the strongest female. All right, this one's a young lady. Let's come up to the front, everybody. Let's give her a round of applause. All right, what is your name?
Emma.
Emma. Everybody say hi, Emma. Hi, Emma. So Emma, can you clap?
Once or just
Okay.
in general.
Now, can you clap loud? Like, I'm talking about with power. Ready?
All right.
Okay. All right. So Emma, this is what we're gonna do.
All right.
Every time I call out hands on deck, just to get us back on the same page, okay? Hands on deck, clap, okay? Well, I'm sorry, I'm not explaining it properly. Okay, so we're gonna clap twice.
Okay.
And we're gonna be the rowdiest workshop around here, okay? Because we're gonna be loud and we're gonna all the energy is just gonna bounce around in this room, okay? So we're gonna clap twice and we're gonna slam our hands on the table. All together though. But I want you to do it with power, okay? Like your power is coming from your arms. Anyway, so let's do the test run. All hands on deck. Woo! Beautiful. Thank you, Emma, for demonstrating the clap. Not the first clap, but the second clap. Okay, guys? I'm going to skip this towards the end, if you have more time. But the first part that we're going to do, as you can see on your workshop handout, there are images right next to blank spaces, and they'll fill in the blank, okay? So the first thing before embarking on a journey and taking charge of the ship is we have to establish a couple of things as an organization. Are all of us part of student organizations on campus? Raise your hand. Like that way I can get a gauge on everybody. Okay. I know some of us are working for outside organizations, or we might have worked for student organizations, but I cater this more towards student organizations, just to help give you a basic fundamental. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is Constitution. Okay? Without reading it on the paper, can I get a volunteer to tell me what a Constitution is? Yes. What's your name?
Ani.
Ani. Hi, Ani.
I would say the set of rules by which your organization runs. Or something like
Let's let the whole room hear. Like, speak loud.
It's a set of rules by which an organization runs, or guidelines, or.
Okay. That is actually the right answer. But just to clarify a little bit more, are these the rules made periodically from year to year, or are they rules that have been set up throughout the years?
Well, I mean, some organizations can change them every year depending on things they need to add, but
Like the readjustments that you need to make?
for the majority, it stays with you.
Okay. And how many of y'all know if does your organization have a constitution? Let's get a show of hands for those who don't have a constitution. Like who's like very unfamiliar with it, about the Constitution? Okay, so everyone in this room has read their constitution, and know exactly what to do, right? Okay. All right. Well, I see a few little shaky faces. Well, a constitution just allows us to have that basic fundamentals just at first. Just to know our boundaries of what work that we can do and what we can do to support the rest of the team. It allows, it's our map, it's our guide for the organization throughout the year to work together. So as long as we have like these set of rules, we'll know that we're gonna follow them and we're gonna obey by them because everybody works on the same page. So by working with a constitution, it just allows us to have a better direction in your organization. All right, does anyone have any question about creating, no, I'm not gonna create a constitution with y'all in this class, but does anyone have a question about the importance of the constitution within the organization? Okay. Well, we're gonna move on to our first activity, everyone. At this point, no one will say anything, okay? No one will say anything. You can't use your cell phone, you can't mumble, you can't hum, okay? The objective is to get this whole room in a circle in the order of their birth, month, and year. And I will give y'all about 5 to 8 minutes to do that in a circle. So, just quick, does anyone have any questions? I don't know. Okay, you start now. I'll give you about 6 minutes, approximately 6 minutes. So be careful with this wire. No writing, no using paper and pen.
Wait, day, month, and year?
No, just day and month, no year. Nope. Careful.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, just be careful with this cord right here. If y'all want, walk in front of the table rather than around it. Walk in front of the table rather than. No year. Only date. Only date and month. No year.
Month and day.
Month and date. Careful with this wire. Remember, you have to have a complete circle. Yeah, month and date only. Month and date only. Be careful with this one. No, no, this one. Be careful. Walk away. Sorry. We have about 1 to 2 minutes left. Okay, we have about 2 minutes left. Y'all want to clean up? 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Yo, 1 minute left. $45 seconds left. Anyone else want to clean up, or are we just gonna stand here staring at each other for 45 seconds? All right. If y'all agree that y'all are done, just all y'all raise your hand. Anyone think that we're not done? Raise your hand. Anyone think that we're not done? All right, workshop over. All right. Where does January 1st start? Okay. Say your month and date out loud.
January 8th.
January 8th.
January 13th.
January 13th.
January 24th.
24th.
January
25th.
January 31st.
Okay.
February 8th.
February
20? May 3rd? Okay.
May 6th.
It's alright guys, it's alright. Alright, let's finish the rest.
June 17th.
Alright, y'all stand right. Just stand where you are. Okay. We're gonna include this in everything. Okay?
June 17th.
June 28th.
July 16th.
July 17th. August 17th. August 22nd. September 3rd.
September 4th. September 5th.
Where are you on?
January 11th.
You January? July. Okay, alright. We'll stop. Alright. I remember y'all three. Remember those two. Alright.
October 4th.
September 20th.
October 20th.
December 3rd.
December 21st.
December 23rd.
Okay. All right, everybody. Let's see a round of applause for staying where we are. Little tweaks. That's all I gotta say. Just little. Wait. Oh, Mike. Man. Happy New Year's. I know it. All right. All right. So. Okay. Just little minor errors. That's all. It's not bad, but y'all did majority very good. Okay, so what was the system? Like, what was the system that y'all chose? Like, who did y'all start copying? Like, or did y'all just come up with your own? Did anyone else assume that it was month first?
Yeah.
Like, no one else thought differently? Like, you thought day first? And why is that? Like,
And then I started noticing that there was people who said, well, we did it, I was doing it, but I only did 5 months. But then I was making sure.
Valentine's Day.
that's what you were doing?
Yeah.
Okay, did everyone else understand what you were doing?
Valentine's Day, bro.
Okay, alright. So, our first lesson is coming up with our system. We're coming up with a system, and some individuals have a different system. And we have to kind of acknowledge it, even though it's that one person. Because we have to pull them up into speed. We have to pull them up into the system that works the best in your organization. Okay? So we're creating an organization right here. Birthdays, okay? So, what's your name?
Ben.
Ben. So Ben came up with, should we go with date first? And he saw everyone, how do you start knowing when people come up with a month first?
Well, mostly it was everyone was doing single digits, and I guess, it just makes sense. They're not gonna use 31 days, and after like that,
people should be working up, more than like a half year or so.
Okay. So you started adapting really well to the system.
Oh, and I gave her a birthday, so.
Okay. Cheater! Alright. How did you know the direction of the circle? Why couldn't it go the other way?
I just wanted people to watch.
Wait, what happened? Well, what's your name? Jennifer? Jennifer's the first one. So why do you want to go this way?
Well, because originally, before you told us it was a circle, but no one was actually standing in a circle. We kind of all just stood in a line. And that's when you go left to right.
Uh-huh.
And that's when we moved around to a circle.
Okay. Was there a captain of the ship, guys? Did y'all see like one person taking charge? Ow, what?
Like, so yeah, pretty much followed him, so I know his birthday in January.
Okay. So you knew what was working and you stuck with it.
Yeah, follow the red shirt.
Okay, follow the red shirt. All right, let's go to our just minor changes in the system, and we have Bella and David. All right. So what happened here? Like, what was going on?
We just never, well, we figured out who we were next to, and the last person I talked to was Al, and I saw that he was a man, so we just pushed him, but we didn't really talk to him. Yeah, always it was the first one, and I assumed that they were ahead of me.
Okay.
Because we talked over here,
And y'all didn't complete your communication to the left side,
Yeah.
but you got everything straight
yeah,
right here.
everything was straight.
Okay, so you just forgot that they were June, and you couldn't incorporate. So do y'all see the groups? Like, let's raise our hand for January. Raise your hand. Group January, and y'all stuck with each other. Y'all made sure y'all were the first, right? Let's see March. Raise your hand. So this is another committee, guys. Let's talk to. This is our marketing committee. And August, raise your hand for August. All right, these are lovely PRs of the organization. Lovely PRs. And one more for September. The bomb squad. Y'all logistical, y'all get the things done. So, did y'all feel that y'all broke into the next group, September, October group? Like, do y'all communicate more with October group, or y'all just stuck with yourselves? Okay, and works well because they knew that they couldn't control the whole circle, so they stuck in their own committee, but they made sure that they get their part done, and then they came after July, but before September. Oh wait, y'all are September, sorry. All right, so was there one person who was accountable for like the whole circle? Like y'all didn't see that one person, huh? All right, so this group was almost missing a leader. That was your main leader. Like throughout my experience of doing this activity, there's always that one person who's like, whenever I ask, wait, are y'all sure you're done? There's that one person raise their hand, hold up. You go one by one. That person goes here, make sure, catch up over here in July, and then make sure you fix the kinks over here. So that's that one person who's accountable. But it's just to make sure that everything is just falling into place. But let's give everyone a round of applause. Let's get back to your seats. Let's get back to your seats. And good job, everybody. That's about 50 people on the audience. All hands on deck. Feels good. let the energy and the rush go through. So, in the circle activity, we had some role identification. The role identification was trying to get into your groups and your committees. Let's identify what's your role in your organization. Does everyone here know exactly what their role is in their organization? Like exactly what they need to do? What tasks they need to take care of? An example is we need to identify our tasks and roles so that we will be responsible for those tasks. Once we complete them, we're able to go out and help other committees or other groups who need our help. But let's talk about webmaster, for example. A webmaster, everyone has a webmaster or the historian for the organization, right? Everybody raise your hand if you have a webmaster, or if you are one, props to you. Okay? Important job of a webmaster is what? Off the bat. What? Who said that? Oh, website? What about the website?
Keep it maintained up to date.
Keep maintaining, keep it up to date. Is it a webmaster's job to go out and talk to other schools and make sure they do co-events together? Is that his main responsibility?
It's not his primary responsibility, but he's done with his webmaster task, then just return a call.
Okay, as long as he identifies the task, you need to identify your role of the task that you need to complete. You're able to branch off, and you're not constricted to your responsibilities. You're able to break off and like do works of others and help other positions out. And we're talking about main positions like the vice president's the treasurer. Well, you won't be touching much of the money and budgeting of treasurer, but you'll be able to assist the treasurer in keeping all the financials together, like for your part. Goals. We are still in the first stage, and we haven't like set sail yet. Okay, we're still, before we embark our journey into the open seas. We need to know where we're going. We need to know our goals, or else we'll just be wandering the seas, doing nothing, wasting a lot of money on food, resources to maintain the ship's conditions. So there are two types of goals that I want to focus on here. Okay, individual goals and team goals. In reference to football, I'm a big football guy. Anyone else is a football fanatic around here? Okay, we're going to talk to Ani. What is an individual goal in the football world? Example.
Break their previous record or something.
Break the previous record. Okay. Sonny, what is a team goal in football?
Super Bowl, baby.
Win the Super Bowl. Win games. Right? Ultimately win games. This is a game, well, your organization's not a game, but you have a set of goals. Organizations can have goals where they are individual. What's an example of an individual goal in your organization? Let's say you have a graphic designer. Okay, and a graphic designer is someone who can create really good images for public. So that person's individual goal would be to create a good portfolio so that it could promote future internships. But what's the ultimate goal? What's the team goal for the graphic designer?
For the
Yeah,
to design something that appeals to the public.
in relation to VSA, in order to get more people attracted to that organization. All right. So the three ways that we can really collaborate the team and the individual goals is the following. Oh, but before we go on to this, I totally forgot one thing. Is one goal bad if it's by itself? Like, let's say if I was going for my previous record, if I didn't care about the team winning for football and I just wanted to break my own record, do you feel that that's not a little bit selfish? But what if I do that at the same time of winning games? It's not that bad, right? So what having individual and team goals it allows you to build investment of the individual in an organization, not only to complete the organizational goals, but also help assist and enhance the stakes that the individual has. The three things that we must know about these goals. We must align the team and individual goals together. Find a way to incorporate your officer or e-board member who is an accountant major. Let them practice with the treasury, with the fundings of the of the organization, but at the same time completing the tasks of the organization, completing all of the budgetary, monetary expenses that the organization needs to know. Number two, you collaborate the goals, not dictate them. So as a leader, you don't force the goals upon your fellow members. You want to work together with them so that they can feel like more involved with their organization. But regardless, the main important thing is you can ultimately complete the team goals. As long as you have individual goals, you can complete the team goals. Any questions on individual and team goals? Might have like rambled just a little bit too much right there, but trying to slow down a little bit. All right, next we're going to talk about misconceptions of leadership. Leadership is a very, very broad, it's a very broad subject. Like you can look at leadership in so many ways. Another individual wrote, leadership to be communication, direct the group in the right way. With leadership being very broad, it just opens up a lot of doors of like, oh yeah, we expect leadership to be this, we expect leadership to be that. But there are a lot of like misunderstandings that we have, and we have to really find out what they are in order to reshape them and help reinforce our abilities as leaders. So, and we need to steer away from the death skull in the ocean. So the two misconceptions that I have for y'all, the main ones that we're gonna focus, there are so many out there, is the management myth. The first one's the management myth. I've read a lot of books on leadership, but many of those books, it's all about managing. This is a big difference between leading and managing. Okay, in the books that I read, there are a lot of books on management. Like I read leadership books, but I see that they're about managing your team. Management is the process of keeping your team in line and effectively produce the results. Whereas leadership is the art of influencing people to follow your values, follow the goals and work with them. So what you really need to do is really be mindful of this process, the process of working together. I've grown up in VSA 7 years ago, and my initial thing was, okay, I need to delegate all these tasks properly. I need to get people to make sure they do their work. Is that really a job of a leader? Is that person like supposed to just check up on you all day? You need to just find a way to really influence them. Leadership is an art. Leadership is, hey, let's go out I got this plan to come up with like a big resource book for everyone, and I'm not gonna put all this work on you, you gotta do it, but maybe you come jump on board with me and you can follow with me. You can at least spread it to your state, your school, I can get your resources, and we can all work together and collaborate on this. Whereas the management would be, hey, just make sure you do this. Like, we got this plan, but just do it, man. Like, it's cool, like, to get all these books and resources, and you try to spread out to other schools, but he doesn't have any say or input. If I don't get Sonny here to jump on board with me properly, then I don't know how long he'll stay in the organization. Like, you gotta really try to find an art and find a way to persuade him. Next one is very common, okay? Leadership is difficult and exhausting. How many of y'all think leadership is difficult and exhausting? I think so. But let's think about it. Let's think deeper into this. A leader is a person who uses his ability to make big impacts on the world every day, and it also implies taking him away from his or her own life. Sounds pretty exhausting. That sounds pretty exhausting. But notice that those who practice leadership, they radiate really fun energy. Okay? All hands on deck. Let's wake up, everybody. All right. So, notice those who practice leadership, they just have this really good energy. They put it on to others. And why is that? Let's take an individual like myself, a person who likes to sit on the couch. I enjoy TV. I don't like to do much exercising. I know we got some exercise buff guys in here. And let's take physical activity, for example, and take an individual by the name of Rafael Nadal. So a person like me, who's not really physically active, will look at Nadal and will say, man, he's exhausting himself playing tennis. Like, that's really exhausting. Like, it looks really exhausting watching him play, right? Like, all the sweat coming down, and he's like draining his energy. He's like barely picking up the racket to win the championship. But in reality, for Nadal, him actually playing gives him a really good well-being, like really good power by playing tennis, by being really active. But for a person like me who's really inexperienced and who doesn't really practice tennis much, I may think that's exhausting, but to him, it's like second nature. It's like him practicing, and he knows what he's doing. He hits the ball with great precision and accuracy, and he practices a lot. What's worse than it being exhausting to watch him play is him not practicing at all. He would probably become worse if he did not practice. And we are talking about practice, everyone. We are talking about practice. Practicing. No, really. Are we going to talk about practice? Practice. Leadership can be practiced. Leadership, no one here was born with the fundamentals of leadership from the first day. You're not going to automatically be able to stand up and step up as an organizer without knowing what to do, without actually practicing it. It's going to take a couple of times of sweating, falling, being very sore. Practice your leadership. It takes the time to effort to develop these skills. It may be you may think that's exhausting, but the more that you practice, the more that you keep on practicing these skills, they're going to come like second nature. Rafael Nadal, he moves from the basic stuff, now he's going to more advanced stuff, like slicing the ball better, spiking it better. Whereas like many of us, personally for me, I'm just trying to hit the ball over the net, lob it over. But you practice the skills and you keep on honing them, okay? Running, how many runners do I have in this room? Like runners. What's your name?
Max.
Max, tell us something about running from the first day compared to your current condition right now.
Well, you see, there's a progression. When you start, it's very common for a lot of people. You start running, you'll get on a treadmill, go to a track, and let's say they can run 1 mile, they'll be dead. Their lungs will be burning, they'll get shin splints, their feet hurt, and they don't run anymore. It's tough. But if you stick with it, you go from running 1 mile and dying, and then you can go run 5 miles and you can carry on a conversation with somebody that's doing that. As long as you stick with it, you can build that progression. But in the beginning, it's terrible. It's like that. You don't want to do it. But
it's scary.
It's scary.
Shin splints, I never heard of them. I felt them, okay? And I was like, why is this part hurting? It's supposed to be this side I have, this muscle. I never knew I had a muscle in this part. Max, you said it so perfectly. You're sticking with it. It's a progression. It takes time to develop your skills. you're not gonna find them all in one day. You don't put someone up in the front of the room and say, that person is automatically a leader just because you put that person in front. That person has to show its confidence and abilities to maintain a certain type of art to get the group very cohesive with one another. So some situations, and let's say for a lifetime, let's talk about those who don't. I'm not talking about for y'all, but let's say, for example, for those who don't want to step up into these terms of leadership. We some people say, oh yeah, it's an easy option not to step up, but think about it. You're allowing the influence of others upon yourself to become more stressful for you. It's actually more stressful for this person to promote more, to impose their ideas onto you. If you don't have any say in what you want to do, then it's just a really stressful life. It's just like really painful to endure. If you ever watch anyone who's their mood just goes really negative, they become really passive aggressive. It takes a practice, just like Max said. Like when you're running, we are running with leadership. So let's skip. We're under a certain time constraint. And give me 2 volunteers. 2 volunteers. Don't. All right, since you picked them, you come up. All right, and Sonny, let's what's our time here? D? How many? Yeah. Okay, so how many more minutes do I have? About like 20 minutes?
It's 11:25.
Yeah. You need to start.
10 minutes? Okay, I'm gonna wrap up this last part. Can I have these 2 individuals step out real quick? Step out the door. Get out.
Step out.
Yeah, just get out. Get out right now. All right. I'm gonna show them this. Who here knows how to fold their shirts like this? Express style. I saw this on YouTube. I'm hoping they did not watch that same YouTube video. So I just folded 3 shirts in like 2 seconds. And I'm going to show them how to do it. And I want to demonstrate the actions of a leader. So let's get us back on track. And let's bring in one. Tony, can you call just one person in? All right, Bella. Everybody, let's give a round of applause to Bella. Just take one of your shirts. Well, I mean, I'll keep it. And my shirts. All right. All right, just face that way. Then can y'all make some space for it? All right, for this demonstration, you're not going to say anything, and I'm only going to say the instructions once. Okay? So I'm going to teach you how to hold a shirt really fast. Okay? So what you do is you put your shirt horizontally in front of you. You take the right hand, put it on the corner. Take your left hand, put it in the middle. You grab the right hand onto the bottom, and then you fold it. You got it? Let's give Bella a round of applause there, man. Bella, come join me right here. Right here. Like, both grab that shirt. All right, Sonny. Let's face the audience. Together. No, I mean, you come on.
Okay, you want me?
So, what we're gonna do is we're going to fold this shirt in 2 seconds. Okay, without using our chin. All right. Yeah, that's cool, huh? All right. So, grab. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay, grab this. This part right here, right in the middle, from the neck to the shoulder. Just a little bit more, yeah. A little bit more in the middle, okay? Now let's grab this middle part right here. Like, make sure this is the midpoint of the shirt, okay? All right, can we grab this over, guys? Okay, Sonny. Oh, Sonny, before you do that, let's move half of the shirt, okay? Okay, half of the shirt. All right. So we're gonna move half the shirt. Let's grab it over to the bottom. And we're gonna grab it straight at the bottom and lift it up. There you go. No, that's fine. Now stretch both hands out like this. Okay, so keep it tight. Hold it. Right. Look, no, that's
Don't do laundry.
this one. Right. You got it perfect. Grab this. Grab this. Okay. Lift it over. And grab the middle. So do not let go at all, okay? Now pick it up and just put it up like this. There you go. Alright. There you go. And now we're going to fold it out like that. Let's see that? Let's. This is just a quick way of folding shirts, but it's also a quick leadership activity. Okay, all right, I'm about to show you. all right, let's give a round of applause. Have a seat. So we're getting back on track, and I want to demonstrate actions of a leader. I wanted to demonstrate what it took. So with Bella, which of these three match her the most? Her situation, the first one. Ears only, right? And how much of that do you really retain? 0, 5% maybe? As an educator, we find ways to like really teach. And these are the 3 ways they could teach. The person lecturing up here all the time, you probably would only understand 30% of it, 50% of it if you don't speak. If you just look at it by ears and eyes. But Sunny actually discussed things with me. He fell behind. And sorry. All right. So ears, eyes, discussion. Sunny started to retain it a little bit, about 70%. You got a little bit right. Okay. And we start practicing it. They eventually got it right. I think if they start practicing this and use it a little bit more, they'll be able to fold the shirts in the right way. In relation to leadership, we're finding the best way to really teach others how to do things. Are we just telling Bella in the front, oh yeah, hey, do it like this, and she doesn't tell us anything back, okay? And yeah, Sunny, who kind of fell behind, and he didn't know what he was doing, but he actually spoke to me about it, and we worked together with it. And I'm going to play this quick video on leadership. Everybody, all hands on deck. All right, we are near the end of our journey, and I want to thank y'all very much. I know it's early in the morning, and I hope that I woke you up and gave you some good spirit. So let's watch this flash video. It's a short video.
If you've learned a lot about leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore. It's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be the first follower. You stand out, you create ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut and it's not 2 nuts. 3 is a crowd and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point, and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. And over the next minute, you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'd be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a version of the shirtless dancing guy, all alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals, making everything clearly about the movement, not you. Be public, be easy to follow. But the biggest lesson here, did you catch it? Leadership is over-glorified. Yes, it started with the shirtless guy, and he'll get all the credit, but you saw what really happened. It was the first follower that transformed a lone nut into a leader. There's no movement without the first follower. See, we're told that we all need to be leaders, but that would be really ineffective. The best way to make a movement, if you really care, is to courageously follow and show others how to follow. When you find a lone nut doing something great, have the guts to be the first person to stand up and join in.
We're coming to an end of our journey, and we've hopefully found a little bit more resources to use. Just know that there's a map. There's a map that you will follow, and you can always readjust the map. You might run into the storm. You might run into a couple of problems with the misconceptions, and hopefully you could like really overcome that. And overall, like the map is really the world in your hands. And whatever you decide to do as far as like stepping up and making a movement, again, like follow like these certain steps, get your followers, get people to believe in you, get people to believe in like the things that you do. Does anyone have any questions before we go? Or anyone want to make a statement or opinion about anything? Feel free. Thank you very much. Let's thank Lynn and the group for like the great work of VO1. This is really been great. And I had a lot of fun with y'all, and I hope that y'all do great things. Like I'm looking forward to see it. All right, everybody. All hands on deck.